A quote by William Simon says that the nation should have a tax system that looks like someone designed it on purpose, and that someone is Jim Profit. I have taken it upon myself to contact several state representatives with propositions that would tax the internet in one regard or another. I feel as though maybe I've been going about this fight with moderators all wrong. I've been trying to argue a social condition, a human rights violation. And Americans generally don't give a shit about human rights. They are barbaric and cruel lot. They are murderous, petty, cruel, mean, and just plain hateful. They don't care about one another whatsoever. But they do care about money, both in and out, both the government and the private industry and the common man. That's the only language they understand is money. Either money in or money out. And I could probably get a lot more done if I talk in their language as opposed to righteous, basic human dignity language. Now, some of you may argue, but Jim Profit, you're Canadian. How could you possibly talk to state representatives? Well, anyone is legally allowed to talk to state representatives. It's not like something you need to have a pass for. It's not like I need a key card to talk to the main chancellor in some fantasy book where he's a grand wizard or some shit. They're just politicians. That's what they do. They talk to the people, and then they talk to each other and vote on an issue. I know you don't know how the political process works, but I do. And I also know that the vast majority of moderators are either American or their institutions are American. Facebook is American. Google is American. MySpace is American. Twitter is American. YouTube is American. They all either reside in America or the owners thereof reside in America, and therefore they are bound by American law, and I can get a lot more done by getting America to validate the problem that is moderators as opposed to any other country. Most other countries actually have respectable people that appreciate human rights. I doubt sincerely I'm going to see nearly as many Canadians or, Germans or French people banning people and just mass censorship to the magnitude of American moderators because they were raised right. They had actual parents that taught them right from wrong. Americans generally don't. So, the two bills so far that I have proposed for the American government are I wrote down a list of things I was going to propose. So far, I've proposed a Protect the Children Act. Protect the Children Act would essentially make any site meant for ages 13 or older should have to pay an annual tax of $500 to $1,000. Now, obviously, I was more verbose about this in my email, but essentially, yes, any website deemed mature, at least mature as far as teenagers go, is exposing children to content that their little minds just aren't ready for. And we cannot possibly just take them all down. That would be ridiculous. And you know what? You can still have your porn. But you know what? The porn website should have to give back to the community. I think that's fair. I think it's fair that, with all the smut that we're exposed to and all the Viagra ads and all the spam and all the moderators and shit, I think you can afford to flesh out $500 to $1,000 a year. I mean, look at fucking Steve. He made like $200 in a week just because people were throwing money at him. So, I think he has what it takes to flesh out a little bit of money on the side for his government so that, we can have nice things, right? Let's see what else. The Friend Finder Act. Any site deemed a social media or social network, like Facebook, must pay a tax of 1 cent per registered member annually. So, because Facebook is so big, it is just so prevalent that it is on your fucking cell phone the moment you get a cell phone. People just could not function in today's society without Facebook, and yet Facebook still has the right to ban people. Isn't that something? But the issue here is that Facebook is not only massive in size and quantity, but it is also very, very rich. It has many, many deep connections. It's partnered with many companies that it sells information to, or just gets through advertisement and through games and things like that. And at the end of the day, it's suffice to say, Facebook has enough wheelbarrows of money to afford a big tax. And, this sort of tax will not even affect little websites, because how many members do you have? Like 20? Maybe like 1,000 even. What is 1,000 cents? I think that's like $100. So that really would not affect you. This would only affect the giant websites, and at that ones your government deems a social media. And at that it would have to be an American social media. Wouldn't matter where you're hosting the site. You could say, oh, well, my IP address is from like Uganda. No. The fact is, Facebook Incorporation is sitting its ass on California soil. Therefore, it is of California's jurisdiction, and to a lesser extent, the American federal government's jurisdiction. And Mark Zuckerberg surely lives in America. Therefore, as the owner of the website, that makes Facebook American, whether or not you want to believe otherwise. Therefore, I believe these taxes could be passed. I have talked to your local representatives about it, and I will continue in the future, because that's only 2 out of 6 that I've thought up in my head so far. Oh, it's going to get much worse. It always gets worse. So, I guess that's it.